She's also a rabbi. Lots of psychology. Starting her own venture there. She'll get back like or when Tiana or something. See them, can the big deal is Mother's Day. We began. It's great for us to go, and we have a summer Grandma Zeta camp. But, we're recently got fewer hours that we can do. Like it was one thing, another fact that there's three. We're like in the evening, we don't make plans in the evening anymore. We're like, if you get to us before 7, that's great, but we're sleeping otherwise. So we got them all to come for Mother's Day, and I hope that worked out so beautifully. Me as a step parent, trying to make this for that to happen. So now my son children. We have 6 months.
Yeah,
so,
that's right. Yeah.
So that's been, and it's shifted some of the relationships of it, which I appreciate too. I call just like voicemail showing. Suddenly I see that their faces sort of thing. It's not like she wants to necessarily chat with me. She's the way I. 25.
He's in Seattle. So I left. He's like, it's supposed to be the other way around.
I know my parents did that too.
I'm like, I can't be in Seattle any longer. I'm sorry.
It's a good, like, it gives some substance abuse therapy sessions.
Hopefully, it's close to.
Is that a possibility?
He doesn't want to live in Seattle. Now he's talking about it. And I was like, I think they moved to Philly or something like that. I was like, Philly, I could stay there.
So do I. You think that would be We shall draw waters and joy from the well of salvation. Yeshua. And there is Melissa in the well of salvation. We shall draw waters and joy with Julie, Carol, and Sarah, with Deborah, Ellen, and Rabbi Oz and Liz Bolton in Ottawa. We shall draw by national well of salvation. We shall draw waters and joy from the well of our nation. Ah, the well of salvation, the well of salvation. Welcome to the pre-show. We have no idea how long this will go on. Keep it going to the well of salvation. Waters and joy. salvation. We shall draw waters in joy from the well of salvation. Mimaneha Yeshua, Mimaneha Yeshua, from the well of salvation, from the well of salvation, we shall draw waters in joy from the well of salvation, the well of salvation. We shall draw waters in joy from the well of salvation. From the well of salvation.
Welcome, friends, to this Reconstructionist musical retreat, and thank you, friends on Zoom. So we have a treat for you tonight, and we're going to start with a video in song as a way of invoking us and those we represent.
Carmelita's evening. And though its light still here in Evergreen, we know the sun has set elsewhere, so we're splitting the difference, which is what Havdalah means making distinctions. Sunrise, sunset, how swiftly the years pass. And we shall draw waters in joy from the well of salvation. Oh, we shall draw waters in joy from the well of salvation, the well of salvation, the well of salvation. Oh, we shall make distinctions between Shabbat and the rest of the week within the well of salvation, the well of salvation. Come gather round, my friends, let's make some distinctions. I am confident, I'm not afraid, for Yah, my God, is my strength and my deliverance. I raise the cup of my longing and invoke your many names. Let us separate from intolerance, and we shall draw waters of joy from the well of salvation. Oh yes, we shall draw waters in joy from the well of salvation, the well of salvation. Yes, sing along. Well of salvation. Into the week with its challenges, hold on to the wholeness you are, and so learn to love our difference. This will be our deliverance if we learn to love our difference. Ushaftem mein besatzon, mimane ha-Yeshua. Ushaftem mein besatzon, mimane ha-Yeshua. From the well of salvation, the well of salvation, we shall draw waters and joy from the well of salvation, from the well of salvation, the well of salvation. We shall draw waters of joy from the well of salvation, the well of salvation, the well of salvation. We shall draw waters of joy from the well of salvation. But before we do, we need a little more elevation. So please rise if you are able. And you sloungers on Zoom, you can rise too, or at very least sit up straight. No slounging in the well of salvation. If you want to draw waters in joy, you need more elevation. Oh, draw the waters of joy. Yai, die, 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 die.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei bori hagafei.
Oh, sweet fragrance, we call you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ruach haolam, borei minei besamim.
The sweet spices, their fragrance will come around the room. And if you're on Zoom, reach for some nice cinnamon or some spice, or smell the loved one next to you. Yai, di, di, Holy flame, we lift you up. Once in Eden, we were scared that first night, and we asked for some protection. So the translucent skin that we now see through our nails, we were given skin for coverage, but we lift our nails to remind ourselves of the light we truly are, beneath the stories, the defenses, the essence of who we are.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei meorei ha'esh.
Amen. Yai, dai, 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 dai. Baruch atah Yah. Blessed are you, awakened consciousness, cosmic constant, who helps us see light and dark. 6 days of doing and a day of being, who enables us to make distinctions and also build bridges between this and that, between the all of the all that holds the all of the all. Baruch atah Yah Eloheinu ruach haolam, hamavdil umegasher ben kodesh lechol. Yai, dai, dai, dai. As we stand here in total darkness, with the sunrise in some parts of the earth and the stars outshining in others. We invoke the future possibility of redemption for us all. For Mashiach, it's often called Messiah, comes from the Hebrew word limshoch, to draw forward. And so we're not waiting for somebody to arrive. We're opening our hearts for the future that longs to live inside us now. In Eliyahu. Miriam, so brave and strong, prophetess of light and song. Miriam, come dance among us, heal the world and right its wrongs. Miriam, come dance among us, heal the world and right its wrong. Bimhera biyamin, hitivienu, El Mei HaYeshua, El Mei HaYeshua, El Mei HaYeshua. Shavua Tov, Shavua Tov, Shavua Tov Lamayim, Shavua Tov, a good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Again, greetings, friends. I'm Rabbi Jamie Arnold. I'm here at Congregation Beth Evergreen, and again, welcoming everybody on Zoom and in the room, and these amazing musicians and souls and leaders in our communities, extended communities, gathering for a weekend of making song and sharing music and receiving the blessings of music. So last night we had a Kabbalat Shabbat service, a welcoming of the Sabbath, and we introduced new musical renditions of traditional prayers and some innovative prayers and liturgy as part of a service. And we call the work of tefillah, of prayer, prayerfulness, work of tikkun hanefesh, of working inwardly on ourselves, right? Growing our souls. And we do that for its own sake and for the sake of tikkun olam, for the sake of repairing the world, of bettering the world. So we're pairing these two musical events, gatherings, in that intentional way of pairing internal introspection and intrapersonal work with the interpersonal work, the work to better the world. At Beth Evergreen, we use music to build bridges with communities of color. We have been partnering for 5 or 6 years with Zion Temple Church, Pentecostal Church in Denver, and Val Robinson has come up and been our gospel choir conductor. And last year, Laura Berman, who will be, and I co-wrote this song for that gospel choir. So get on your gospel kippah. And here we go. Let me just get a... seeds of light, sow seeds of love, grateful hearts, harvest justice and joy. Sow seeds of light, sow seeds of love, grateful hearts, harvest justice and joy. In Hebrew, Or Zarua, Vatzadi, Yisraelei, Yisraelei, Sila. Or Zarua, Vatzadi, Yisraelei, Yisraelei, Sila. Sow seeds, let's hear you. Sow seeds of life, sow seeds of love, grateful hearts, harvest justice and joy. Sow seeds of light, sow seeds of love, grateful hearts, harvest justice and joy. Zion hears the gospel, sings the glory. Judah saw and read the dream again. Marching, praying, have faith, swaying, love of justice, love of God and all the earth. Sow seeds, sow seeds of light, sow seeds of love, grateful hearts, harvest justice and joy. Sow seeds of light, careful. Sow seeds of love, grateful hearts, harvest justice and lightning bolts from clouds on high. The earth she quakes, makes valleys rise, mountains melt, they burn like wax. The people see, feel the need. Lightning bolts from clouds on high. The earth she quakes, makes valleys rise, mountains melt, they melt like wax. The people see and bend the knee. They bend the knee. Sow seeds of light, sow seeds of love, grateful hearts, harvest justice and joy. Sow seeds of light, sow seeds of love, grateful hearts, harvest justice and joy. Or Zarua. Or Zarua. Vatzadi. Ul Yisraelei, Yisraelei, Simcha. Or Zarua. Vatzadi. Yisraelei, Yisraelei, Simcha. Sow seeds of light, sow seeds of love, grateful hearts, harvest justice and joy. Sow seeds of light, sow seeds of love, grateful hearts, harvest justice and joy.
Can we clap because it's not Shabbat?
Good evening, everyone. My name is, hang on, need the guitar on to tell you my name. My name is Joni Kalem, and I am an Israeli American. I currently live in Columbus, Ohio. And as an Israeli, I've always struggled with the occupation. And as an American, I've always struggled with the occupation. And I was thrilled last year to discover that Judaism has already grappled with this in an old Talmudic story about stolen beams. Is the guitar on? Okay. This palace was built from stolen beams. It looks okay, it shines, it gleams, but something feels wrong. It's unraveling at the seams. It's clear it was built from stolen beams. What do we do when we finally understand that the house we are living in was built by sleight of hand? Down there in that cellar, the central beam came from someone else's home, it seems. The building is crumbling, and that's how it should be, 'cause the whole thing was built on treachery. It wasn't us who stole it, but all the same, we've taken part in this ongoing shame. This palace was built from stolen beams. It looks okay, it shines, it gleams, but something feels wrong. It's unraveling at the seams. It's clear it was built from stolen beams. A wound can't heal if we won't give it care. We just can't move on and pretend it's not there. So what do we do to fix this place where the sins of the past cannot be erased? Some say the whole thing should be torn down. Some are trying to burn it to the ground. We can still heal this wound, others say, but that beam must be paid for, first step on the way. This palace was built from stolen beams. It looks okay, it shines, it gleams, but something feels wrong. It's unraveling at the seams. It's clear it was built from stolen beams.
Hi, I'm Cantor George Henschel from Kol Halev, small but mighty Reconstructionist congregation in Baltimore, Maryland. And we actually meet in Lutherville. Most people don't know Lutherville, so I say Baltimore. The text of this song is based upon a prayer to precede study that was used by Rabbi Mordecai Kaplan to begin his classes at the Jewish Theological Seminary in the mid-50s. And as you'll see, it applies very well to our current day. And I tried to find a way to deal with that, and I appended some familiar text from Micah, because I feel that this is a sense of how we bring about the kind of deliverance that Mordecai Kaplan was looking for. From the cowardice that shrinks from new truth, from the laziness that is content with half-truths, from the arrogance that thinks it knows all truth, from the arrogance that thinks it knows all truth. O God of truth, deliver us. We must do justly and love mercy, and we'll walk humbly with our God. Do justly and love mercy, and walk humbly with our God. We must do justly and love mercy, and we'll walk
What's gone down?
humbly with our
Which place?
God. Do justly and love mercy, and walk humbly with our God. From the cowardice that shrinks from new truth, from the laziness that is content with half-truths, from the arrogance that thinks it knows all truth, O God of truth, deliver us.
Hello, Shavua Tov. I'm Laura Berman, and I was contemplating what song I could share for this evening in honor of Juneteenth and social justice. And I can say confidently that my catalog of songs does not have a lot of social justice songs. And I thought of this one song called Clay, which is inspired by how we mold each other and how we behave and think, and how we are molded in the divine image, however that, whatever that means and however that means for you. And that's, I think, an important thing to consider in our work. Is this guitar on? No signal. I don't know what that is. Do I need a new battery? I sound like Sean singing. What? Oh, the bold hands trace a path in the sand, forming places where I'm sure to land. Oh, you make me the shape I'm in. You end, then you begin again, like music from a violin, molding this melody into my bones and into my skin, like clay. And you carve stone and you make it from above to below, and you see a line and you make the right from the wrong. Or you make me the shape I'm in. You end and you begin again, like music from a violin, molding this melody into my bones and into my skin, like clay, like clay. Turn that'll wind me up, curves that'll carve me out of nothing. I am something. Hands that'll sculpt me from rock, that'll soften as clay. I am something. I am something. And you make me the shape I'm in you. And then you begin again like music from a violin, molding this melody, molding this melody into my bones and into my skin like clay, like clay. You mold me like clay.
Hi everyone, Shavua Tov. Shavua Tov out there too. My name is Rebecca Goldsmith, and I have the privilege of being the new music director at Atlanta's congregation Beit Chaverim. Shout out to a couple of my Beit Chaverimers on Zoom right now. I'm going to teach a song that's got multiple parts, and we're going to try them all on. We're going to learn them all. And then the invitation to you is to see which one really stirs you, which one feels good in your voice, and sing that. And then if you want to switch, switch. And if it's yours just to listen, that's also part of it, but be a witness to what's happening. So 2014, December, the officer who murdered Eric Garner was acquitted, and I was gutted, and as many people often are. And so I sat with what it is that I can do, what in my body, what am I able to do from the place that I'm sitting in. And so these words came, these parts came very quickly, and they stick with me. They're both things that speak to me as a call and help remind me of my ability, my capacity, my strength. And also they're things that I have to show up in this world, and if I am truly someone who wants to leave this place a better place. So without further ado, we'll start the parts. And can I have a C? Okay. Here's the first part. Listen, 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 listen. Try it with me. Listen, 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 listen one more time and listen, 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 listen. Second part goes like this. Let me believe that love is possible. Let me remember the courage in my soul. Let me believe that love is possible. Let's try that again. Let me believe that love is possible. Let me remember. Let me remember the courage in my soul. Let me believe that love is possible. Let me remember the courage in my soul. One more time. Let me believe that love is possible. Let me remember the courage in my soul. Third part. I will raise my voice for justice. Try that. I will raise my voice for justice. Let me remember the courage in my soul. Let me remember the courage in my soul. I will raise my voice for justice. Let me remember the courage in my soul. One more time. I will raise my voice for justice. Let me remember the courage in my soul. Fourth part. I've got to. I know, I got confused for a second. 1, 2, 3. I've got this body to march with. I've got this mouth to speak with. I've got these ears to listen. I've got this heart to love with. I've got this body to march with. I've got this mouth to speak with. I've got these ears to listen. I've got this heart to love with. I've got this body to march with. I've got this mouth to speak with. I've got these ears to listen. I've got this heart to love with. Great. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm going to bring all the parts in and get in where you fit in. Here we go. We're still in it. One. And everybody behind me is going to be singing a part, so you can tune into what's happening there too. 1, 2. Listen, 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 listen. I've got this body to march with. I've got this mouth to speak with. I've got these ears to listen. I've got this heart to love with. I've got this body to march with. I've got this mouth to speak with. I've got these ears to listen. I've got this heart to love with. Let me believe that love is possible. Let me remember the courage in my soul. Let me believe that love is possible. Let me remember the courage in my soul. Let me believe that love is possible. Let me remember the courage in my soul. Let me believe that love is possible. Let me remember the courage in my soul. I will raise my voice for justice. Let me remember the courage in my soul. I will raise my voice for justice. Let me remember the courage in my soul. I will raise my voice for justice. Let me remember the courage in my soul. I will raise my voice for justice. Let me remember the courage in my soul. I will raise my voice for justice. Let me remember the courage in my soul. I will raise my voice for justice. Let me remember the courage in my soul. I will raise my voice for justice. Let me remember the courage in my soul. I will never give up, never give up, never give up. I will never give up, never give up, never give up. I will never give up, never give up, never give up. I will never give up, never give up, never give up. I will never give up, never give up, never give up. I will never give up, never give up, never give up. I will never give up, never give up, never give up. I will never give up, never give up, never give up. I will never give up, never give up, never give up. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa Berman, and I'm the cantor at West End Synagogue in New York City. And this Olam Chesed Yibaneh by Rabbi Menachem Creditor has become somewhat of a social justice anthem in many Jewish communities. And the Hebrew is really simple. It should be up there. Not sure. So if you want to repeat after me, the words in the Hebrew are Olam, Chesed, Yibaneh. So Olam means world, Chesed, loving kindness, and Yibaneh, he will build. Hebrew is a gendered language, that's how he wrote it, but here we are. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadanai, Nai, Nai, Yanananai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yananai, Nai, Nai, Yanananai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yananai, Nai, Nai, Yanananai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yananai, Nai, Nai, Yanananai. I will build this world from love, Yananai, Nai, Nai, Yanananai. You will build this world from love. Yananai, nai, nai, yanananai. If we build this world from love, yananai, nai, nai, yanananai, then God will build this world from love. Yananai, nai, nai, yanananai. Let's go back to the Hebrew we learned. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yananai, nai, yanananai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yananai, nai, yanananai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yananai, nai, nai, yanananai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yananai, nai, yanananai.
Who's this guy?
There you are. Oh, say shalom. Oh, say say shalom bimromam. Osa,
Osa,
shalom,
Shalom,
Osa,
Osa,
shalom, Osa, shalom bimromeha. Bolu nase shalom, shalom aleinu, shalom al kol Yisrael. Bolu nase shalom, shalom aleinu, shalom al kol Yoshvei Tevel. Make peace, peacemakers.
peacemakers,
Make peace,
make peace,
idol breakers. Broken pieces put together, made whole. Make peace,
make peace,
peacemakers.
peacemakers,
Make peace,
make peace,
idol breakers. Scattered people come together, find home. Calling out to all God wrestling angels. Let's see what you and me as we can be. Join the song of all Earth's creatures living. Earth and sky and sea in harmony. Oh, say,
oh say,
can you see
can you see
by the dusk
by the dust light
a place where peace instead of bombs
can
take flight? Oh, say,
oh say,
can you see
by
by the dusk
the dawning light
a nation's might measured by people's right? Oh, nase shalom, shalom aleinu, shalom al kol Yisrael. Oh, nase shalom, shalom aleinu, shalom al kol Yoshvei Tevel. And let us say,
let us say,
Amen.
amen,
V'imru amen. Let us say amen.
Guten Tag, oui. I'm Rabbi Jeff Eisenstadt. I've been a congregational rabbi for over 40 years, and the founding director of youth and camping for the Reconstructionist movement. And perhaps you remembered way back an hour ago when Rabbi Sean talked about Eliyahu Hanavi, that Elijah the prophet was going to come, and Miriam Hanaviah, and Miriam the prophetess would be here. But it turns out that in Shabbat HaGadol, the great Shabbos that comes the Sabbath before Passover, because we all know who comes to our house to drink the wine on Passover, well, it seems that the announcement of the ideal of peace really came from this prophet Malachi. Malachi wrote about 2,500 years ago. I wasn't there, but I remember that he wrote Malachi, has a simple answer to how we can bring peace to this whole world. And Malachi writes, but we'll hum a little bit first. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. When will the world be filled with joy? And when will all people know peace? When hearts of parents turn to their children, and hearts of the children to their parents. V'heshiv levavot al banim v'lev banim al avotam. V'heshiv levavot al banim v'lev banim al avotam. Ay, ay, la, la. When will the world be filled with joy? When will all people know peace? When hearts of parents turn to their children, hearts of the children to their parents. So eternally happy.
This is not a song that any of us can claim that we wrote. Thank you. But it is one that we've been turning to in the last couple of years since I heard the Avett Brothers play this song at Red Rocks. I grew up with reverence for the red, white, and blue. Spoke of God and liberty, reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I learned love of country from my own family. Some shivered and prayed, approaching the beaches of Normandy. And the flag waves high, that's how it should be. So many lives given and taken in the name of freedom. But the story's complicated and hard to read. Pages of the book obscured or torn out completely. I am a son of Uncle Sam, and I struggle to understand the good and evil. But I'm doing the best I can in a place built on stolen land and stolen people.
kidnapped race. Laws may change, but we can't erase the scars of a nation. Of children devalued and disavowed, displaced by greed and the arrogance of manifest destiny. Short-sighted to say it was a long time ago, not even 2 lifetimes have passed since the days of Lincoln. The sins of Andrew Jackson, the shame of Jim Crow, and time moves slow when the tragedies are beyond description. I am a son of Uncle Sam, and I struggle to understand the good and evil. But I'm doing the best I can in a place built on stolen land with stolen people. We are more than the sum of our parts. All these broken homes and broken hearts. God, will you keep us wherever we go? Will you forgive us for where we've been? We Americans. I've been to every state and I've seen shore to shore still open wounds of the Civil War. I watched blind hatred bounce back and forth, seen vile prejudice both in the South and in the North. And accountability is hard to impose on ghosts of our ancestors haunting the halls of our conscience. But the path of grace and goodwill is still here for those of us who may be considered among the living. I am a son of God and man, and I may never understand the good and evil, but I dearly love this land, and because of and in spite of we the people, we are more than the sum of our parts. All these broken bones and broken hearts. God, will you keep us wherever we go? Can you forgive us for where we've been? We Americans. We Americans. Love in our hearts with the pain and the memory. Love in our hearts with the pain and the memory. Love in our hearts with the pain and the memory. Love, 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 love. Love in our hearts with the pain and the memory. Love in our hearts with the pain and the memory. Love in our hearts with the pain and the memory. Love, 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 love. Love in our hearts with the pain and the memory. Love in our hearts with the pain and the memory. Love in our hearts with the pain and the memory. Love, 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 love.
Just take it.
Getting his hair.
Thank you so much. Let's take a deep cleansing breath. Let it all out and settle in. A couple of Yom Kippurim ago, Adam DePaul, one of the leaders of the Lenni Lenape Nation, was my invited guest for Yom Kippur services at Mishkan Shalom in Philadelphia, where I'm blessed to be the rabbi the last 10 years, having worked for well over a decade with Rabbi Jeff and others for the Reconstructionist movement, including coming here 20 years ago for the first time to discuss affiliation. And so some of us, we were kind of looking at each other going, well, I could, yes, it could have happened. So it was a blessing to be here. And Adam shared some of the story of his people, because the invitation was, what atonement do we need to do at this moment, not only individually, but collectively? And, somebody asked him about the recognition of land, and he said he so appreciates the impulse for people to name the lands of his ancestors. But his request was to name it as the lands in which we were once stewards, as opposed to, for example, the Lenape land. Because he said, quoting Torah as a religious studies major, the earth is the God's and the fullness thereof, not any person's. And so we got into trouble because it wasn't a concept of ours that someone should own land. So when we signed treaties, we thought, sure, we'll share it. It's not ours to begin with. And we didn't realize the impact of those signatures, that other people would think the land is something they could own. And so I just lift that up in his name for us to see each other, whether it's occupied or not, but that we are all stewards of the land in which we are, as opposed to the owners of that land, notwithstanding the structure that we live in. So that brings me to this final piece, which I'll need to get my own words, which I never memorize. Okay, good, here they are. And they'll be up on the screen as well, let justice flow. So these words, I discovered them during my sabbatical, or what my former president called the house arrest during COVID. Having a sabbatical when COVID breaks out is a very interesting 6 months to spend locked in your house predominantly. And I found a cache of lyrics I had never written music for, and this was one of them. This was back when I lived in Toronto as both a son of Canada and of the United States of America now. And it was a period of time in which there was a Holocaust denier who had gained quite a lot of prominence. Only the laws in Canada are different here in the United States, and one can be prosecuted for inciting hate speech. And so the trials had begun, and I found myself one day in a department store checking out at the line, and lo and behold, in front of me was this individual, because they had not been sentenced yet, and so they were free to be around. They weren't under house arrest. And the line was so long, I had like 15 minutes to conjure everything I was going to say to him. Right? And I kept on thinking of scenarios and throwing objects or saying, I'm Jewish, or something like that, and on in my own mind. And I kept on thinking of what to do, and yet I couldn't find it in my kishkas, in my soul, to say anything, because I felt like I was trying to be somebody else I thought I should be in that moment, but not what the truth was for me, in disregarding his humanity and letting justice happen on its own accord. And so by the time, I remember closing my eyes, and by the time I figured out, I'm just going to say hello and introduce myself, I opened up, and the cashier was like, are you paying for anything here or not? People all lined up behind me. He'd gone. And so I went home and I wrote the song, or the words, that I imagined I might engage after introducing myself and making that human connection. And so that's this piece, and we're closing with this piece. We'll circle back to the waters of our salvation as well, from where we began this morning. So at some point, everyone, my colleagues here, will rise and cluster around, and we'll all rise together and sway in harmony and do amazing funky dances and other things that will spontaneously erupt. by the fury of your hate. In the fear you beg to trigger, I will not participate. I'll not join the blood cries or burn the effigies, be sued to raise the devil or condone your victory. No, this is my gift, to be an ally to us all and free you from the cages and wherever you might fall. Be vigilant in the moment, because it will pass at dawn. When we rise to meet each other, it's us who'll sing this song. Let justice flow. Let justice flow. Let compassion grow. Let justice flow. There'll be no more politeness, no violence and no tears. It's a steady march of justice that defies the use of fear. I'll use you as a catalyst to build more bridges and walls. Stand for every freedom till you let our people go. Let our people go. Let justice flow. Let justice flow. Let compassion grow. Let justice flow. Let justice flow. Let justice flow. Let compassion grow. Let compassion grow. Set it till dawn. Let justice flow. Set it till dawn. Let justice flow. Let justice flow. Let compassion grow. Let justice flow. Let compassion grow. Let justice flow. Let compassion grow. And we shall draw waters in joy from the well of salvation. Oh yes, we shall. We shall draw waters in joy from the well of salvation. The well of salvation. The well of salvation. We shall draw waters of joy from the well of salvation. We shall draw waters of joy from the well of salvation.
thank you so much for coming, for joining us tonight. Thank you for supporting Beth Evergreen and supporting this gathering. We're hoping to create ripple effects through the country, through the movement, and beyond with all this great new music. And may you have a blessed, beautiful week to come. Shavua Tov, friends. Shavua Tov. Oh, we should do some thank yous. Adara and James have been running sound. Amazing. James did a great job. And we have Laura Berman, of course, Rabbi Judy Coomer, Rebecca Goldsmith, Rabbi Sean Zevitt, Jim North, Cantor George Henschel, and Joni, and Melissa, and Rabbi, our senior, Jeff Eisenstadt. Thanks, everybody, friends, for being here.
Thank you.
And I'm Rabbi Jamie. And thanks to Sarah and Joshua Hess. Sarah and Joshua have been catering and helping and doing all this. And Sarah did the screen share. Thanks so much, friends. Have a great night. Sure. That's pretty good. Maybe we could.
I was going to say hi to Deborah, but she already left.
That's nice. I'm sorry. Thanks, friends. Ezra, great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Who's on there?
Hi, Ez.
Yeah, I mean, the same lobster, wherever you want, wherever you want.
Well, it's gonna-
What happens? Everybody breaking free?
Carol.